Okay, guys, we're going to go to Ask Scruff. Now, this one's slightly different in the sense that there's no right or wrong answer to it. So it's for Dave Surreal. Salute to you. And I kind of understand it in just a moment. So if I come over into the Discord and the guys are sort of waking up and having a chat with each other, in the lounge, we just sort of greet. But when we drop down into trader talk, they'll start discussing what they're doing throughout the day, our small successes, etc. But down here in the clinic, I drop in what's going on through the day, whether I'm taking trades or not, etc. I'll track something if I'm requested. But they've also got this, which is Ask Scruff. Now, what I do here is I'll look at the question and I'll go to camera and I'll answer it. Now, for this one, I've got to dig it back a little bit because they were having a bit of a chat. Here we go. Scruffing Squad. Interested in back testing. Any software uses software. And I've put in, personally, I've thought 5 years and then forward test. Let me kind of clarify what that is, because everybody back tests a little bit different. And I'll come back to this in a second. Personally, when it comes to back testing, it's ideal to give you an idea of whether your system is robust and that it'll pick out various signals and then get a gauge of how far the market will move. The problem with it, it's the same as sort of rolling back a chart. I never do retrospective charts. You'll always see me trading in the moment. And the reason being is everybody can be a millionaire if you know what the outcome is. And that's what backtesting is to a degree, because you're always looking at the perfect setup, because you already know, well, if it gets in here and I hold it hypothetically for 100 pips here, but in the moment, holding it for that 100 pips is very difficult. So what I have a tendency to do is I'll scroll the chart back about 5 years or 2 or 3 years, whatever. And then I'll just plot through what an entry criteria is and a reasonable profit target sort of criteria. So it's like if it's day trade, it's 20 pips or whatever, just to see if you'll constantly get your 20 pips. But I also mark what the highest point the market would give. So in that sense, you can get an average of what a target is as well. So you might be aiming for 20 pips, but the market might run to, say, 60. And it runs to 60 quite a lot. So the average might come down to about 30. So what you end up doing is actually targeting a little bit too conservative. So you can see that through the years, okay? I mean, personally, I just do that through an ATR for a daily basis. And it's divide the daily ATR by 3 and then divide it by 3 again. And what that does is it finds the wave and then it finds the third of that wave that you're trying to capture. That's a quick, easy way to do it. All right. Now, once you've figured out that your entry criteria and what you're looking at is pretty suited to your lifestyle, you've then got to forward test. Now, that's where I think the money's made. It's not in back testing, it's in forward testing, because if you sort of just look at a system, because any system will work, any of them, they all do. Doesn't matter what anybody tries to peddle to you, they all work if you know when to do it. Forward testing will teach you that. And the way that I do that is I do it twofold. So first of all, I'll set up a little sheet like this and I'll do it with live money. But just pennies, 100 quid, because it's not a lot. And there's a reason why it's £100. It forces me to use the smallest position size possible. In this case, it's between 4p and 10p a position. Now, 10p is actually over leveraged on this to a degree, you know, because it's pretty tight. But it allows me to do it. And what it does is it keeps the emotion side in the game, because you need skin in the game. That's where prop funds take over as well. So if you go on the 5%ers, and there's links for these down in the description, use the boot camp. It's about 75 quid to get in, but now you've got skin in the game. You've got something at stake. but it costs you very little to do it. And it'll teach you sort of the emotion side of it, or 39 quid for a high stakes. Again, you've got something in the game. So that way it'll teach you that roller coaster. Do you like a roller coaster?
No, I don't actually.
Why not? I thought you liked the ups and downs. No?
Whatever I say, you're going to twist it, so I'm just going to be quiet.
Well, that's your one for this video, boys and girls. I've always got to wind her up. I love winding her up. But yes, it teaches you the roller coaster. So that's what the money side of it's for. And then kind of drop it into here, £100 balance. And the idea is you'll either run it for 30 days, 100, 200 trades, whatever. And keep a record of it here. Now, this one's very simple. There's loads of videos on this journal. Works everything out for me, the balance, the win rates, increases. It tells me how to work out the position size based on the balance, the investment, return on investment, all these different things it works out. But this just runs the money side of it. For the back testing, what I do is I drop it over onto something like this. Now this runs off the back of here, but it is standalone, and you can run it with your journal. So what I'm doing here is I'm tracking the pound hour to hour. So from there, just take it down onto the tester. I'm going to run it for 30 days. Okay. And I'm only going to use pound USD because that's the one I've picked. If I did use multiple products, if I'm running for 30 days, just the second product would come in and you would just mark one under there as well. And then eventually you'll come to 30. If you're running it for sort of 30 trades, well, there's your 30 there, or run it for 100, whatever. Very, very simple. So day of the week that I'm running, Monday, obviously today. The start date, we're starting it today, 28th of the 4th. Put a couple of little sort of rules in that you're looking at. So it's a £100 count size. It'll tell me what the position size I can run at. The growth that you're looking to put into it. Now, the growth here is based on pips. So it's 20 pips a day. But you can put in whatever you want. You can have like 30 pips a day. But growth, you're looking to gain 20 pips a day. Maybe you should call that gain or something, actually. I might change that. But I just knocked this up to kind of show you how it works. The type of product that you're going to be, or the type of trade you're testing, well, I'm testing GoldenEye weighted, sort of something that I've put together for the guys. And then the market, and then just drop the market in there. Now here, there was no trade available at 7 a.m. 8 a.m. there's no trade. Now let's just say 9 o'clock, where we're at now. It had an opportunity to go to market. So we go to market, drops into trade, but it didn't cash out till 10 o'clock. And then you you said it was a B trade, because I grade them A, B, C, D, and F. All right. A is good target. B's baseline target. C, be careful. D is dangerous. F, fail. Okay. And that's the way I look at it. And I only really trade if I'm certain. Now, at 11 o'clock, you might have gone to market again, but you lost. What this will start doing is it'll start tracking the win rate, etc., against, and then you can see across the hours how long you were in a trade for, whether it won, whether it lost, and which one of the grades it was. And then you'll get a gauge as to, well, it's predominantly B trading, it's predominantly C trading. Helps you target effectively. And then if you want to track the P&L as well, just put it on the other side and just put a list here of what you were winning, and it'll start adding up the P&L as well. So you can see, well, it run at 50%, and each day I was ending up with a P&L of X. Okay, so that might mean, well, if I win £2 on the first trade and I'm only ever ending the day on £2, I might as well just cut and run. Why go again? all these different things. So that's kind of how I back test, and I'll run that particular test for the next 30 days, and then I'll see what the results are. And if I'm happy with it, brilliant. Then that's another tool in the bag. Now, if I'm doing it with a Kylie, do exactly the same thing, and then that's another tool in the bag. And what you'll also do as you're doing this for 30 days and you're only looking at one system, it trains your eye to see it straight away. So if you're looking at two systems, but you've already gone through an extensive forward test, you'll know instinctively which one to take when you see the chart patterns. Hope that helps. Catch us all soon.